Dantak.
Hey.
Jurassic World Evolution.
That's
Frontier. Creators of Planet Coaster, all that stuff. A lot of theme park background. We talked about it a while ago on the show.
Did.
A very in-depth episode all about Jurassic World Evolution, but now we spent a lot of time with it.
That was our first chance to play, our first hour.
Yes, and now we've played more. I'm at about, maybe like 11 hours or so.
So which island is that? Is that
I'm in
4?
Peña.
The nighttime island?
Yes.
I'm in the one right before that, 3.
Okay, that's paradise compared to Peña. Peña in the ass, they should have called it.
You start in significant debt on that island, right? Like that's
no, the third one's the one you start a lot of debt in. And I don't know if it's a spoiler to talk about the settings for the different. I think like the parameters are kind of fun to uncover as you go along.
They are.
Especially the third one. Like I really like that setup for the third island. And
let's not spoil it then.
Yeah,
I agree.
We can stay out of that.
But it's a good setup, and then it ends up being a cakewalk in a really fun way. Like that was really where I felt like I hit my stride and started to understand more of the parameters. But Dantak, you wrote the review. What did you think of this thing?
So it was sort of a mixed bag. So on the one hand, I did enjoy creating dinosaurs, altering their genetic code to make them more enticing to visitors, creating parks. Hey, so that stuff's all good. The problem is I didn't feel like there was that many options eventually. Like I'm still making a hotel. I'm still making the one food stand. Some of their other games seemed like they had way more options of things I could do.
Yeah.
I seemed kind of limited. I felt like I was doing the same thing on every island, just with different dinosaurs eventually. And then you get into the thing that really got me, the thing that frustrated me was sort of the mechanics, how I couldn't automate a lot of the systems. So it feels like I'm going from a menu to set a timer, to go outside to set 9 to 12 timers, to go back into a menu to set another timer. And it just felt like I wasn't really engaging with the park so much as I was just juggling timers.
Well, if you're John Hammond, isn't that ultimately what you're doing when you're playing God is juggling timers?
But I timer on the egg and just sit back and wait.
and again, it wasn't... the game was not without substance or value to me.
Yeah.
I gave it a 7. So it's sort of in between. But like that aspect of it really got to be a huge pain in the ass, especially when I was dealing with bigger parks with lots of dinosaurs. Escapes happen. It's part of the game.
Oh
so
boy,
they're going to get out. And then you've got to, all right, here, I want this order. I want to go set up like this many tranks. And then I want to set up 9 rangers to go refuel this one, cure this disease, clear that fence, cure that power outage, break that sabotage.
To a certain degree, isn't that just the sim genre in general?
It
just
is,
maintenance?
but it felt so overbearing that it was like all I was doing was maintenance at times. Like I'm just clicking on a thing and then going away and never really taking the time to get deeper into the game. It's just like I'm going from a timer to a timer to a timer. And it get on a big park, it feels more like on a small park, like the first island, I didn't feel that way at all. But as you get further into it and you get bigger, more complex structure with the monorails and all this other fun stuff, it's just like I felt like I was just looking at timers and not actually engaging with anything.
That's interesting. I wonder if it comes down to UI at all.
We brought this up originally, at least I did, like how I felt like it was just very menu intensive. And I still feel that way on release, but a lot of the stuff's out in the park now. So it just feels like I'm going from an expedition, okay, I'm going to set an expedition. Oh, my research is done. I got to do more research. Oh, now I got like 9 other little things to address in the park, and it's just back and forth. And again, yes, to some extent that is the simulation genre, right? But that's what I feel like I'm doing. Like the meat of my gameplay is just clicking on timers and not really engaging.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Like what I settled into was like nice loops though, of like, yes, I'm setting these timers, but by the time I'm done kind of doing my rounds, like my research is done. Like the expedition comes back and there's like this weird loot crate kind of quality to going to see what fossils you get.
Totally.
Where it's almost just like, oh man, I got a rare. You
want to get the rare one that's worth like tons of money.
Yeah,
and even there's stuff that you can sell that aren't even fossils, where it's like you can make some big bucks.
Oh
for
yeah,
that process.
Definitely.
It worked out well.
That can save your park. That can be the life.
Yeah,
and death.
petrified poop, and you're like good to go.
Yeah,
make another raptor.
It's absolutely true.
Okay, so you're playing on PC mainly, right?
Absolutely, only on PC.
Only on PC. I'm playing on PC, but it's sacrilegious. I'm playing with a controller, and I'm amazed by how well it plays with a controller. And Reiner, what are you playing on?
Xbox.
Are you down with me? Like that UI could not be better for the controller.
It's super slick, and like a lot of times you got to call a ranger to like fix a fence or go in and restock the food and all that stuff in the habitats, and that's just like mapped to like RB, and then like who are the
LB is the helicopter.
The helicopter, like if a dinosaur gets out, you just hit LB. Target
do they ever get out? No matter what you do, they're going to get out.
It's hilarious how much they get out, especially like in those first couple islands where I was kind of, getting my sea legs before I understood like how to make these dinosaurs comfortable, kind of balance the grass, balance the forest, all that stuff. Very important. But like it's, this ties into a larger theme with the game, but it really cracks me up. It's like the third mission in the game or something on that first island. They're like, they come over the intercom, like, all right, go ahead and take a fence down. Let's test out what it's like when a dinosaur gets. Like, there are people on this island.
And later on, it's like, oh, you want a contract? Why don't you just have your dinosaurs kill each other?
Yeah, it's like people want them to fight.
All the characters are so stupid, and even in the world of Jurassic World, these characters,
they really are.
This Cabot guy is just so over the top.
I went for a couple hours with nothing happening, all herbivores, everything's going well, but then I made what is its name, Ankylosaurus, whatever it is.
The Ankylosaur is the first time you will have big breakout problems.
They are finicky.
He kept getting out, and I'm just like, how do I delete him from my world?
Yes.
When you get Ankylosaurs, all you have is like maybe electric fences or heavy walls. You don't have anything better than that.
Yeah.
And they will rip through them, man. They don't
really attract that many people either. I think they're awesome. It's like my favorite dinosaur, so I wanted them, but they just were a bulldozer for every fence.
They are not worth it.
Also,
worth it.
On that, I think it was the third or is the second island, I think, where it started to really ramp up with the carnivores. And I forget the big first carnivore. It starts with a C.
He's got the big horn on his nose, whatever.
Yeah,
Carniosaurus. It's not Carniosaurus,
right.
It's just generic carnivore. Yeah.
This thing was such a son of a. Like, it just kept getting out of the fence again and again to the point that I had to just, because you can rename all the dinosaurs, which I recommend doing. It makes you so much more attached to them, like XCOM soldiers. Exactly, yeah.
It's way better than tranking STR-425.
Exactly. So I went in and just called this dumb thing Dickhole. And I was like searching through the menu to find a way to kill this thing, because like it's just getting out and eating everybody over and over again. And it was a good evolution, no pun intended, of my arc with the game then, where later on then Dickhole got sick and was like almost dead, and I was gunning it in that Ranger to go heal him because like I care about that guy. It got to me. I wanted to kill him, but now that I have to save his life, I'm fully in debt.
Yeah, they cost $500,000 too. So
exactly.
Those
assets.
I just got to stress how beautiful the dinosaurs are too. Like the animations are incredible.
The dinosaurs are
even like when you trank them and the helicopter comes in to pick them up, just like when they're limp, they look great. Like
100%.
It's amazing.
Little things like when you're moving them from one cage to another, which you end up doing a lot. At least I do. I don't know how you guys are
definitely.
Playing.
Depending on how you play, if you're playing smart, you're going to be moving them a lot.
But just like the little details, like I'm very excited that I just got my first T-Rex not too long ago. And watching the helicopter, first of all, him emerging and roaring, like goosebumps. So good. And it started raining just coincidentally as he was getting out of that cage. Game over. Great game. So then the helicopter picks him up, brings him to the new cage, and as it's slowly lowering him, and he's shifting the weight onto his own feet, like that transition alone, it looks so good.
Yeah. Too good. Like it doesn't need to look that good. It really doesn't. But it's if you like dinosaurs, man, there's a lot of them in the game.
Dinosaur porn.
That is cool, and there is a freeform sandboxy segment that you can unlock.
That's after you finish the 5 deaths.
You don't actually have to finish the 5 deaths, as far as I know.
Really?
Just 4 stars on one.
4 stars on the first island.
Yeah.
And then you go right to sandbox? Because I just want that sandbox.
I believe that is the unlock criteria.
You could do that super easy on the first island, especially when you get more research and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then you can only, I believe, you can only use the stuff you've already got unlocked on that island. So you will want to play through all the 5 deaths.
Right. Okay. And did you have a good time? Because it's structured 5 deaths. If you don't know Jurassic Park lore, it's like the 5 islands surrounding the main island from the first movie that you know. And I guess Jurassic World as well. And it's fun because like the third island, or maybe it's the second, at some point they call an island Site C, which like as a Jurassic Park nerd, it's I never acknowledged a Site C before. This is very cool. And some of the
there are some really good Easter eggs in there for Jurassic Park fans as you get through, and I'm sure you'll catch them.
They're also completely on the nose. Let's see. So I opened up a gift shop, and you have the option of selling 3 items in the gift shop.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what you got, everybody. A plastic lunchbox, Barbasol, and night vision goggles. It's like it's on the nose as you can get with Jurassic Park crap. Ryder, are you enjoying the game overall?
I am. I'm loving it, actually. I'm feeling what Dan Tack is, the further I get into it. Like, whenever you start a new island, it's not like, hey, go have fun with a bunch of money. It's like, oh, crap, this place is falling apart, just like the movies, right? Like, you're like the cleanup crew. That's what it feels like. And it can be frustrating. Like, the nice thing in their design is that, let's say you start failing, and you have your other islands that you're still maintaining, but if you're failing on that one island, you could just go restart island.
Right.
And it sets it back to square one of disaster scenario, and you get another crack at it. I think that's cool.
You do. And like I said, the good moments I had in the game seem to be right at the beginning and then sort of at the tail end. Like the meat in the middle with me, it got it just got bogged down by minutia, I guess, and some of those frustrating experiences I had with timers.
I totally hear it,
Because
especially when stuff's going wrong.
You have to keep those timers rolling at all times in order to advance. Like to get the best dinosaurs, you got to keep that research.
I think
ticking in.
there's a nice the way they dole out dinosaurs is pretty good too. Like you are always getting new ones on the new islands. You know, when you send out your expedition team, they find different places to explore, and you'll see, you know, like on the map, like, oh, I've never seen that dino, and you want to get, you know, extract as much of that DNA as you can to be able to make it.
And I love the roller coaster ride of emotions when you start unlocking bigger and bigger dinosaurs, or more important dinosaurs, I guess you'd frame it as. Like when you start to get the raptor DNA, it's like I'm genuinely scared of like, oh my god, I don't know if I want to raptor my partner.
They live up to it immediately.
They will get out. Yeah,
I made a cage with the electric fence, and I was like, okay, this is the best I can do.
It's electric.
I put in 2 feeders, a live one and another one. I was like, okay, this will entertain them. And then I had the 2 hatching stations open.
Yeah.
So I put 2 raptors in there. They came out. One came out, went over to the pile of meat, had a meal, and then immediately ran himself, like smashed his face into the electric fence. And it said, there's a dinosaur in danger of death. And I was like, oh, he almost killed himself. But he got up off the ground, looked at the fence, which was now damaged, and went right through it. And I was like, oh, God. And he just bolted down a path.
And then just slaughters people.
Oh, yeah. And I was like, okay, I got to get rid of these raptors.
But that's the other thing I love about it, because like I had that thing too where I had raptors and they kept getting out and it was driving me insane. And it was before I understood the social dynamic, where that's something so cool, where like there's a range where raptors need at least a pack of 2, like that 2 to 6 range is their sweet spot. T-Rex wants to be alone. Other dinosaurs want to be alone. But just that idea of, yeah, of course, you Jurassic Park idiot. You can't put a raptor by himself. It's a pack animal, damn it.
And I haven't messed around yet of just throwing all sorts of crazy crap in one cage to see what mayhem happens.
That's what you do on the secret Unlock Island. That's where you just go crazy. You have limited funds there, so just like, you know, if you want to put 7 T-Rexes in it, just have Battle Royale T-Rex, you can do that.
That's so cool.
Fortnite T-Rex.
You can set that up.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Like on the 3rd island is where I made my first just over the top size, huge cage just for Brachiosauruses. It's so satisfying just to have these roaming hills, just put them out there, let them have fun. Even if the viewing station can only see like a fraction of it, I just love putting it in the dinosaur's favor, to the point of like, I'll have a cage for the Dilophosaurus and it'll be like, I'm just going to cover this entire thing in trees, just like the first movie. Exactly. No one can see it. I don't care. I want that dinosaur to be happy. I want it to have a good time.
That is it. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
What do you think about the mission structure overall? I know we were a little bit worried about it in the build-up.
It's for a simulation game, I think it has a satisfying structure. Yeah. For sure. I didn't like, you know, rebuilding my park every island in the same fashion. That again, it's like I said, there are good things, there are bad things. I'm sort of in the middle on this game.
The missions, man, they hit at the right time sometimes where you complete one. You're like, oh my God, I needed that $300,000.
Totally.
Like, that saved my butt.
And it's just like this random thing between security and science and entertainment, and they'll just pop up and say like, hey, do you want to accept this mission? Do you want to accept this mission? And I think it works out really well. You can
actually game it. Like, you don't have to you can take them on your own volition. Yep. And that's what you should be doing if you're trying to min-max.
Yeah.
Like, just say, whatever they show you, just be like, no, I don't want that one. And then go pick the one that you like.
Again, they have a cooldown on that, though.
There is a cooldown. It's pretty short.
It's a minute where you got to wait for new missions to populate. But still, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And you use those to get new buildings and stuff, and you will piss off the other factions, and then they will sabotage you. But yeah, just send your ranger card in there.
Yeah.
So.
And good news for fans, Jeff Goldblum's in it, and
he is, and he, you know,
the writing,
his character's on point. Right?
Like, on point?
No.
It's on point in a very ham-fisted way with everything else, where he's just like, he literally goes, the Jurassic Industrial Complex, it's unknowable. It's so silly.
That's his character.
I understand that, but like, you know, there's just been 30 people slaughtered from a raptor getting free, and he's just like, I told you it was a bad idea. It's like, yeah, of course.
The mysteries of life.
I know. Right? But they also have Owen Grady, everybody's favorite character from Jurassic World, in there with one of the worst Chris Pratt impersonators I've ever heard in my life.
It's not good. It's not good.
It's unbelievable. It's just like some guy from, you know, like the janitor in the building at Universal that they got to try and impersonate Chris Pratt's nothing
You're
character.
about the same age.
Yeah.
That's as close as they got.
Good fit.
That's an odd one. Cabot Finch is always cracking himself up. He really
he
enjoys
does.
it.
That guy needs to go away.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. I
I'm
am.
really loving it.
I think there's enjoyment there for Jurassic Park fans, obviously. But again, it's like I said, I had a really mixed experience with it. So
I get it.
The thing I want to see is how they react to fan reaction, right? And because it's a game, they're adding on 8 more dinosaurs?
6
for the new movie, 6 to 8, something like that.
I think it's 6. Okay.
But they're adding those on soon. But what else are they going to add to the game? Like, could that mean like you're saying, there's not a lot of building options?
Yeah,
in the future, do they double down on that? Like.
See,
I'm excited to see where it goes.
I'm not trying to be super overly critical here. It just seems like that you always build the exact same things.
No, yeah,
right.
I hear you. Yeah, and I think it's a good foundation. At least from talking to them, they seem interested. Frontier overall in expanding on this foundation. Just little things drive me nuts, like the viewing stations. The fact that I can't look out of those. Yeah. I want to know what my guests are looking at.
I want to know what my guests are thinking.
Yeah,
you kind of just have to look at that initial radius and be like, there it is. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, there's the obvious thing, and I think Spore went the same track with its expansions, but at least where I'm at now, there's no underwater dinosaurs, there's no flying dinosaurs. Being able to create that cage for pterodactyls
that would have been
awesome.
That would be great.
And one of their research things is shark, right? And you're like, oh man, I'm going to make that big thing that was at the SeaWorld exhibit in Jurassic World.
I would love to have made one of those.
Yeah, but nope.
I'm sure it's in the works.
DLC.
Yeah, there's going to be plenty of little things along the way, but room to grow, but
I hope so. I hope it finds an audience and they can keep building onto it.
Reiner, I think it's the best Jurassic Park game ever made.
Wow.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's the truest to what those movies are and the books were, right? And then, you don't have 5 survivors left and, you got to fight for survival. That's missing. But as far as building your own park, I think it's done very well.
And feeling the pride and worrying about things going down. Like when the electricity goes out and it's like, oh crap, what was on that grid? Oh God, no, I got to get over there and fix it.
The thing I want to do is play with the sandbox. But
totally.
To really, Tech saying, you got to kind of tolerate some of their bad mission design and scenario design to unlock all the stuff to really make that sandbox fun.
Yeah, for sure. Reviews on the site, Dantac.
It is
7.0.
7.0.
That was just a clip from a larger show called The Game Informer Show. You can find it on iTunes, Google Play, or GameInformer.com. We take the fun opportunities and exclusive information from Game Informer magazine and boil it into a show that airs every Thursday with exclusive cover story information, developer interviews, a lot of fun stuff. So come love games with us.